This June 15th through 17th, come down to the Colorado Convention Center for the first annual Denver Comic-Con.
The Denver Comic-Con will be visited by plenty of amazing guests like Kristen Bauer from True Blood or Will Wheaton from Star Trek The Next Generation. Hey, Futurama fans, guess what? Billy West is going to be there. Tom Kane, Steven Seagal, Greg Weisman.
Realize your dream by meeting one of your favorite comic book artists in Artist Alley.
Hey, dorks, does Darth Nerd keep on beating you in lightsaber? Good news, they have Jedi training.
Are you looking for a really hard-to-find comic? Well, Denver Comic-Con's got so many vendors they had to move to a bigger room.
Hey, nerds, you want to get screwed out of your Vulcan minds? Try sci-fi speed dating. Buy your tickets online at denvercomiccon.com to the Comic-Con that's a mile above the rest. In Colorado, there is only one place that has the best selection of collectibles. Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
For over 27 years, Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics has been the ultimate destination for collectors.
They have a wide selection of hard-to-find coins, action figures, role-playing cards. You can go over there and get yourself a copy of Dominion and sports memorabilia.
Hey, Peyton Manning's a Bronco. I was there yesterday. They have a signed Peyton Manning jersey.
And, of course, they've got comics, which is what I go there for.
All their back issues are half off. On Saturday, all dollar issues are only 50 cents.
And if you sign up for a hold slot, you'll get 20% off graphic novels and comics.
So stop by 6700 Wadsworth Boulevard in Arvada, Colorado, and tell them the Real Nerd sent you. Hey, everybody. Ryan from Real Nerds here. I'm here with my good friend Joe of Birdman Barbecue. Joe, why don't you give us a little bit of history of Birdman Barbecue?
Well, actually, it's a family recipe been passed down for generations. My wife's dad has it now, and we're just now starting to bottle it up. We've got two different flavors, original and spicy, so if you want a nice kick to the back of your throat, try that spicy. And now we've also got a rub, too. So,
You know, Joe, I have to be honest. I love the spicy barbecue, and if you put your rub on burgers with a spicy barbecue, off the chain.
I'm glad that you're being honest, Ryan, because that's what we like, is off the chain.
You know,
Thank you for trying that.
I'm so glad that you like that I said off the chain, because what's even more off the chain is you guys go around Colorado and other places and you actually enter in contests for your barbecue sauce if you won anything.
Yeah, I mean, we've entered our sauce in quite a few contests, and actually we got second place in the Frisco barbecue competition. So for our sauce, just the sauce, that's pretty cool. We've also won, different categories for side items and different things like that. But the sauce winning was the crowning achievement.
And you know what's so cool about being in Colorado is I can go to places around town to pick up the sauce. Where can I get?
Yeah,
the
go to
sauce?
your local area Ace Hardware stores. Check out Ruff's Barbecue in Golden. And then check out your local festivals, Frisco, Dillon. We're hitting up all those this year. So.
And also, I know too, you also run contests on your Facebook page. If you get a certain amount of likes, you always do a free drawing for a free bottle of barbecue sauce. Where can we find you on Facebook?
Absolutely. It's birdmanbbq.com, or on Facebook, I guess it's just Birdman BBQ on Facebook. Check it out. Every 100 likes that we get, we enter everybody that likes us into a drawing for a bucket of barbecue, which is a bottle of each sauce and one of our rubs. So
awesome. So, yeah, make sure you like Birdman Barbecue. Check out Joe when he's doing little things around town with Frisco and winning competitions. You know what the barbecue sauce is? Delicious. Aloha, loyal listeners. Welcome to Real Nerds. I am Ryan. To my left is
James.
Across the room is
Joe.
And in Calcutta is...
You're still doing this joke. Can't I be on the Death Star or something nerdy like that? No.
Shit. Let's get him on the Death Star next week.
Do you think he's really Death Star material?
Well, first Death Star.
Maybe like this. No, maybe
I could be Stormtrooper, like,
oh, like it's
89
not quite
or-
done yet.
Like,
yeah, like they brought him in because all the good construction
and
guys
the worst
died on the
part
first
was
one.
he was like 2 days away from retirement.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I don't like where my story's going. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
Hey,
Oh,
if you
that's
have
right.
never listened to Real Nerds before... Oh, I should mention that Joe is a special guest today. Joe, thank you for stopping by.
Hey, thanks for having me.
My oldest friend... Not like age-wise, but me and Joe have known each other since we were babies.
Joe's the only guy who ever married you.
It is. It's-
Well, I mean, like he made you married. Like you're not
He
married
is.
to
He
I'm
is.
Joe.
officially a reverend.
He is officially a reverend by the power bestowed upon him by the internet people.
By the internet.
But anyways, if you've never listened to us before, we discuss entertainment news. We also talk about comic books we've been reading, some DVDs, Blu-rays we've been watching, and we have a featured movie of the week. And this week kicked off summer, and this week we saw Disney Marvel's The Avengers. I've been getting emails from Disney all week, and it says, check out Disney's Marvel's The Avengers.
Oh man!
And,
But
you know,
it's not that Disney is owning the Avengers. It's that it's Disney's Marvel.
Yeah.
And Marvel's the Avengers.
Yeah, no, it's what's great is I remember when Disney bought Marvel, I was so excited. It's like two of my favorite companies merged. Because, the only reason the House of Mouse bought him was for the characters and...
Oh, yeah.
Because I was...
the money.
Well, I was reading an interview with Rich Ross, who's no longer with Disney, and he said that they have a hard time appealing to young boys. Because, the girls, it's easy, princesses and stuff like that. But now
That's
that they have
sexist.
Marvel, that they can, appeal to the boys and Spider-Man and...
Oh yeah.
That makes sense.
Well,
I mean,
and it means that for the rest of time we get to speculate about whether or not there's going to be a Marvel Pixar movie.
Yeah, probably never.
oh, that would be cool.
Oh, but I'm waiting.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome if it was a part of Real News.
Well, I mean, there was.
Unbelievable. That was an amazing cut into Real News, and James just blew it.
Well, all right, fine.
It's real news.
We never have good.
Guess
segments.
what, guys? I have some news. I'm going to make The Evil Dead, and I'm just going to shoot it. I'm going to distribute it. I'm going to call it The Evil Dead. What? Sam Raimi's going to sue me because of it? This is a real story. Some guy actually thought that if he made a movie called The Evil Dead whatever, that Sam Raimi and the people, Bruce Campbell, Rob Tappert, the gentlemen who own the rights to The Evil Dead and are currently making an Evil Dead remake, would just say, what are you going to do, So what was the name of it? It's like Rude Awakening or something was the name of the company that's producing this movie. So they're being sued by Sam Raimi because...
As well they should.
This is real?
No
Yeah.
name outfit is trying to make a movie called The Evil Dead something, and it pissed off Sam Raimi, and he's suing him.
Death Star Brad, can you believe this news? All right,
shoot.
carry on.
Yeah. Well, Joe asked
it was
Brad a
either gonna
direct
be-
question, and Brad didn't answer.
It was
Sorry.
either going to be called.
Communications are a little slow into a galaxy far, far away.
It was either going to be called Evil Dead Consequences or Evil Dead Genesis of the Necronomicon, neither of which are good titles.
That is awesome. Hey, you know what movie the Necronomicon makes an appearance in that is outside of the Evil Dead canon?
Yes, but I can't remember.
It is Jason Goes to Hell. They were shooting it at the same time on the same lot, and the director, who's terrible for Jason Goes to Hell, is a big fan of Sam Raimi, and he asked if he could borrow the Necronomicon and put it in Jason Goes to Hell, and Sam says, sure.
There's something that I've actually watched.
Yeah, something
that it
recently,
shows up
I
on.
thought that they
Yeah.
talked about a Necronomicon and something else
Creature?
recently.
It's in Futurama at one point.
Yeah,
They-
but I'm
they
thinking
definitely-
about, like something else,
Yeah,
though. Like
no,
a live
you and
action
I
movie.
are on the same. Yeah, I think it was an episode of Game of Thrones because they've been pulling just bullshit out all week.
And my last little bit of news before we... Fuck, I totally skipped over how we usually do it, but...
That's
That's
okay.
all right.
We fuck this
But-
up every week. It's like
Yeah.
we're professionals.
I know, right? But did you guys see the new Spider-Man trailer? That was pretty awesome.
That's really
yes.
awesome.
Is
Honestly-
the whole movie take place at night? Because I didn't see any day shots in that trailer that I can remember.
Possibly.
That's a fair point. No, those opening shots where he's just standing on a dock, it's dawn, so the night is over.
Okay, so 5%
Those
of the
are,
movie.
Yeah.
those are probably
Did you
at the
guys
end
see
of
it
the
in
movie.
3D?
Yeah.
Trailer?
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty badass.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think the 3D... when I first saw the trailer, the second one, not the first one, the second
not
one...
not the teaser.
Yeah, where he's swinging around that antenna and comes around and kicks the lizard. I thought that looked amazing in 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when he's sitting on all the webs that are going across the sewer, and
Yeah.
just it looked like the webs were coming out and stuff like that. I was like, that's
But
that's a
it's
cool
really funny
shot.
because I don't know if you noticed in the trailer, there's a really a quick shot of the lizard in the lab coat, and on Superhero Hype, they posted the Sony actually released a picture of the lizard in a lab coat, threatening one of his lackeys or something. And of course, when they first released pictures of the lizard, he wasn't in a lab coat, and what was the name you have for fanboys online?
Trolls.
The trolls online. They were the first thing they say when they saw the lizard. Oh, where the fuck's his lab coat? Like that's a defining character trait of the lizard.
Yeah.
So when they released a picture of him actually in a lab coat, the first thing says, "Finally, the lab coat makes an appearance." Like that's what you're honing in on.
Well, it is. It's a little detail that makes him slightly different than Killer Croc.
Yeah, I mean,
You
it
know,
makes
he's a better character than Killer
yeah,
Croc, but
totally better.
Oh,
And he's Brad rolls his eyes, the Batman fan.
oh, he totally is, dude. The story of the lizard
Yeah,
is way
Kurt
better
Connors
than
is
Killer
way
Croc.
better.
Yeah, they're both equally
agree.
lame. All right.
Oh yeah. Okay, tell me the story of the lizard, and then you can judge.
I don't know the story. Of the
Oh,
lizard.
so he's just lame. You don't know the story. but
Other
you
than
judge
he's really protective of his son. I don't know what else. And he's missing an arm. Whatever.
Yeah, there's an actual connection with the hero that is missing in the Killer Croc story, which, as far as I understand, is
Killer Croc's is just a gangster
there's a
with
guy
a skin disease.
and he gets a croc on his face.
But my last little Spider-Man news is I read a huge interview with Mark Webb on Slash Film, and one of my biggest fears with the new Spider-Man was I was afraid they weren't going to kill Uncle Ben in it.
Yeah.
And I was reading they actually asked him that question directly, and he said one of the mandates that Marvel would not budge on was
Wow.
the death of Uncle Ben transforming Peter Parker into who he is.
Wow.
His parents, disappearing and stuff, like drives him, but his death of Uncle Ben turns him into Spider-Man. So he says he handles it a different way. I'm interested.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I mean, because it doesn't necessarily need to be the, Peter Parker was trying to be a wrestler and
Yeah.
lets the guy who kills Uncle Ben go die. But as long as it's Uncle Ben is dead, Peter feels somewhat responsible. That's all we need.
Yep.
And I'm really excited about it because my problem with the first real trailer was that so much of it was origin story stuff.
Yeah.
That I know that it wasn't just me, but a lot of people were getting turned off by, well, you're just remaking. This
Yeah,
is so
he even-
clearly a reboot, and this trailer doesn't touch the origin.
Yeah, he even
This
said
trailer
that
is just like,
in
this
the
is
interview too. He said when he released that trailer, they forced him to release something, and he said nothing was even close to being done. That's why when he was swinging, it looked really fake.
Yeah.
He said they forced him to. I guess that scene is in the movie, but he says you won't even recognize it because it's rendered more and
Yeah.
there's more into it. So
Well, yeah, and like in that first trailer, the lizard does not. The little bits of the lizard you see do not look very good.
no.
I feel like I missed out on this first trailer. The only thing that I remember as a first trailer was that teaser one where it's just like in first person,
Yeah.
climbing through stuff.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the only thing that
like
I
a video
remember.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
video game one.
Yeah.
You didn't miss much because honestly, like I was always excited about Amazing Spider-Man, but when I saw that first trailer, I got real
Me too.
scared.
I was really scared.
Not the only trailer to ever scare me. Speaking of which,
Yeah. So that's it for my news. But since we're still on me, did you guys know that the movie we saw last week was number 5 at the box office?
what?
Surprising.
Was it?
Surprising.
Didn't I like that movie? Why? What did we see last
We
week?
saw the 5-year engagement.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Think Like a Man was number 1 again with 17 million.
Oh man,
5-year did 10 million.
what did? Do you have the numbers on The Raven?
The
It was
Raven,
the Raven
was
thing.
like 8th or something. It was like 3
Ooh.
million or something. It was not
Ooh.
good.
No.
Man.
Again, if you want to look up any box office numbers, go to boxofficemojo.com. That's where we get our information, and you can find out that The Avengers has already done $304 million worldwide without the United States factored in. So,
Or the movie ticket for today when I saw it a second time. That's not in that money.
That's
either.
not in there.
Yeah.
So
add
thanks
10.50.
Box Office Mojo. Next week for Blu-ray releases, there's actually 2 movies. One movie I kind of want to get, and one movie I definitely get. The movie I kind of want to get is Underworld Awakening. It's on Blu-ray 3D,
Huh.
Blu-ray, and DVD. Me and Laura saw that together. It
Never
was
seen a
fun.
single Underworld.
I will totally borrow that movie
Really?
from
You seen
you.
them?
You should.
I stopped after the first one.
You should, Joe. You should see the first one.
Really? You think
Yeah.
so? There's never been anything. It looks like just like a hot chick in latex.
That's
just
what it
shooting
is.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one time she shoots at the floor. She shoots a
Shut
circle.
up!
No, she shoots a circle on the floor, and the floor breaks out, and then she falls like it's an elevator of broken floor, and then she falls to the level underneath, and it's cool.
Does she have a hammer that breaks through shit?
No.
As she's falling through shit.
She just
That's
has-
what I'm wondering.
She just has guns.
Because I saw something else falling tonight, and it was pretty badass.
Also, Chuck Season 5 comes out, the last season of Chuck. I've never watched the show, but something tells me I should because I hear how great the show of Chuck is. Joe, you've seen it?
I watched. I really liked the first and second season of it, and then I stopped watching it.
Did you
After-
fall
after
off,
he,
or
like-
did you not like it?
I mean, as soon as he became like a spy too, I just was like, man,
Yeah.
I don't know. I stopped caring about it.
Have you seen any of them,
It
Brad?
lost the
I haven't seen any of it now.
kitsch of what was
Yeah.
it was. You know, like he was all of a sudden too badass. You know. Oh, pull the mic closer
Yeah.
to my mouth.
It's,
God.
yeah, hold it like you're.
Thank
Whoa,
you.
whoa.
Like you're almost eating it, unfortunately.
Uh,
It's
it-
weird,
yeah.
I know, but until
feel
we
like I'm
spend
chewing
hundreds
on
of- Yeah.
I am chewing on it. That's my secret.
Mm.
That was a show that it took me a while to get sort of into, and then when there would be days when they would just do marathons of it on TV, and I'd leave it on, and then I sort of enjoyed it. Like it is you gotta get into the kitsch of that show, and that can be a little bit difficult. I would definitely say give it a try.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if it's on Netflix or not, but if it is, then it's easy.
One movie that I'm going to be pre-ordering as soon as we're done with this podcast is Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie.
Are you gonna get the Blu-ray or the DVD?
Oh, I'm getting the Blu-ray, dude.
Cool.
I have to borrow that movie from you, don't I?
You do. It's so stupid. It's awesome. I really hope it has the commercial that Will Forte's character does because he sells swords in this mall, and like part of their promo, if you went to the
Sounds so great.
oh, dude, it's so stupid. But if you go to the promos for this for the movie, it cuts to Will Forte and it's this really goofy commercial, and the whole time it just says, "You're gonna love my fucking swords," and like then it shows all these different swords, and it comes back to him, "You're gonna love my fucking swords," and that's the whole commercial. It's amazing.
I just happened to stumble across the trailer for that the other day and
Yeah.
laughed my ass off. I had no idea what I was watching.
Oh
but I
no!
laughed my ass off the entire time.
When me and Brad went and saw it in the theater, me and Brad were the youngest people there. There was old people there, and I won't spoil the part where people got up and left. But yeah, there was parts when people got up and left.
Wow.
But the person who left, it was only like another 5 minutes in the movie, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
It was just like, you know what? This isn't going anywhere. But yeah, I can't stay
Like,
for
I'm
5
pretty
more
sure
minutes.
none of these people saw the show, which
I've-
includes
yeah.
me.
Yeah,
but
I've never seen the show, but I still laugh my ass
Yeah.
off. You know, Will Ferrell is amazing.
shoot
in
him in the face.
it. Yeah.
Joe, have you ever seen
No,
the show?
I wanted to
No,
have
I've
an
never
open
seen the
casting.
show either. I'm really curious. I watched Tom Goes to the Mayor.
Yeah.
I saw a couple.
I
So
love Tom
I
Goes
like
Mayor.
what these guys do. You know, as far as
It's-
comedy.
It's bizarre, and you know, you have to go into it with the mindset that you're not. You can't. I don't know. It's
You're not
really
gonna get
funny.
a linear dramatic.
Yeah.
storyline. It's
I mean,
really random.
yeah, like when he's trying
It's
out
easy
the.
for me to get in that state of mind, guys.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. We'll
I'm
go
not
watch
worried
this
about
movie.
you. It's because I mean, the part where he's stealing this guy's kid from this store that recycles used toilet paper, and he's making the kid prance around like a horse. It's looking at his teeth and
Sounds
everything. Oh
amazing.
my gosh, it's amazing.
Checking him out like he's an animal.
The wolf in the pizza
Yeah.
restaurant. Thanks, Digital Bits. You know, if you go to Digital Bits and click on the box art there, they take you to a link directly to Amazon where you can order the Blu-rays, and you support Digital Bits. So please do that. Independent website. And it's a really cool website. They now have video games on there, too, on the upcoming releases. So definitely check it out. James, what news do you have for me this week?
There's a lot of sad stuff this week, but also some good things.
Okay.
But we're going to start with the bad stuff.
What's the bad stuff?
How much do you like AMC?
I love AMC.
Well, that's too bad. Apparently, Dish Network is going to drop AMC as well as all of the AMC channels.
What the fuck? I have Dish.
Yeah, you do. Well, you should get DirecTV now.
I literally just got Dish to get AMC and sports back.
You did
Oh,
not. You
man.
I
did not.
seriously just did.
Well,
well-
maybe enough people get pissed off and they won't do it.
Yeah, they're dropping AMC, IFC, Sundance, WeTV, everything that is owned by AMC right now. And the reason is because AMC owns...
You couldn't hear it, but my wife just did this. WeTV.
I didn't. You're right. I didn't hear that.
I know, because, I mean, what is it? Women Entertainment TV?
I
So
would
it's a bunch
assume.
of bitching going on.
Whoa.
Ew.
All right. And we just lost all the women listening. There aren't any women listening.
Oh,
There
no,
are
I'm
not.
here tonight. There are.
What?
I'm here tonight. There's going to be
Oh. So your wife will listen to your...
She'll check it
okay,
out.
cool.
Watch.
Just so you know, Kelsey listens to the podcast. My wife won't even listen to
Yeah.
it.
Well, she's going to listen when he's on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what? Still counts.
But yeah, basically...
On the same download. Darn it.
AMC, I guess a couple years ago, had a series of channels that they called Voom HD. I've never heard of them. I guess neither did anybody else because they all went under. Had you? What were
Yeah.
they?
Back in like 2003, I tried when I was investigating HD channels.
Oh.
I was interested in trying them out because Comcast had like 5 HD channels at the time. So.
Oh, okay.
And they had commercials for it. It wasn't
good.
It wasn't promoted very well.
Yeah. Well, this is part of why that is that Dish just dropped the whole thing, and so I guess since then AMC has been suing them for $2.5 billion.
Billion?
Billion. Yes,
Wow.
billion. They sued Dish for $2.5 billion, citing a breach of contract. And so they've gotten fed up, and they are dropping all of AMC's channels, which this kind of news comes out quite a bit. But usually it's like DirecTV says they'll drop some channel that's owned by Comcast, but that's usually because they're renegotiating their contracts. You'll see those things where like FX, they'll have the guys from Always Sunny come on and be like, DirecTV is going to drop FX. Go in and bitch to your DirecTV guy. And then you go in and he's like, don't worry about it. We're trying to get them to not take so much of our money, but this is clearly not that. This is more serious. And if you have Dish, you should call them and complain because it's shitty. It's really
I know,
shitty.
because I really want to hear on the next Walking Dead.
Well, here's the thing. AMC is the most important groundbreaking channel on TV right now. Like, even if you don't like the shows they're
What,
doing,
Disney
they're
XD?
doing stuff that's more interesting than what any of the premium channels are doing. So it's really a shame. I'm sorry, Joe. Joe just looks heartbroken over there.
Dude, I was like Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I was gonna have it back.
And Breaking Bad's coming back soon. Yeah.
2 months away from Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
Breaking
you
Bad.
have-
So when is this happening? Am I gonna get to watching
don't-
Breaking Bad?
No, don't worry. It ends as soon as the new season of Mad Men ends, and just as Breaking Bad starts, they're dropping it.
Shut up.
No, I'm serious. It says that in the article.
Shoot, yeah, no, I'm not finding the exact. Oh, yeah, no, it will end at the end of the current Mad Men season. Yeah, he's exactly
Ooh.
right. So it will be gone, starting with Breaking Bad. Oh my God, he's crying.
My soul is.
Oh, now you better tell your wife not to listen to this.
She doesn't want to see you upset, Joey.
Yeah.
Fuck! Are you serious? I was so excited to get the Dish, man. Damn. All
Yeah,
right,
you know what?
Carry on, news.
Dish is so cheap to
Call
have.
them up. Let them know.
Yeah, no, seriously, because it is. It's really shitty.
And make sure your subject of your email is "fuck you, Dish."
It's the kind of bullshit that just in general makes me want to cut the cord.
You need to pull a Eric Cartman style temper tantrum. With Dish Network. You're fucking me, Dish Network. You're fucking me.
Speaking of cutting the cable, you can't really do that very well anymore because now, if you want to use Hulu, you have to have a cable subscription. It's not official yet. I mean, they're talking like they're definitely going to do it, but it's not. They haven't implemented their plan yet.
That would be that surprising.
No, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Hulu has been useless for the last 2 years.
Well, yeah, because Hulu's
but-
ran by TV.
Yeah.
So, of course, they're
But-
going to make a little...
They could have taken this chance, and they could have taken what they had with Hulu and used it to push forward the inevitability of the future of television, which is that there won't be television and internet. There will just be internet. Like it seems to me so obvious that why would you fight this so much? Why don't you just figure out a way to make money on the internet in a way that is legitimate the way television
Wow,
is?
it's like we've
even if
heard
it-
this before, like the music industry.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, we have. I mean, if Hulu were a thing where every TV show was an hour long the way it is on TV, but I can watch it on demand and it just has commercials in it, I would probably do that. Like the reason that I torrent stuff is because I want to be able to watch it on demand.
We're going to be doing a podcast one Friday night, and the FBI is going to come
I'm just
busting
not.
in here.
Yeah. Well, no, I just won't be here. They'll have taken me in the night.
Breaks in, shoots me in the head.
Yeah.
Kidnaps
Oh my
you too.
God.
That's why you don't hear about the RIAA suing anybody anymore.
Now
They just kill you in the
he
night.
makes
now.
fun of my jokes, but now I'm sure he really wishes he's in Calcutta.
It's pretty shitty.
Yeah.
And it means that people who get pissed off by their Dish Network provider can't just cut the cable and go internet because you have to have cable now.
Well, you got good news tonight?
Um,
I'm just gonna shit all over this night.
No, I did. No, I don't actually. Adam Yauch from the Beastie Boys died at 47.
yeah.
Didn't their career
MCA.
already did?
Well, they tried to come
there's-
back recently. Oh, well, here's the thing. More important than him being from the Beastie Boys, the reason we're talking about this is because he was one of the founders of Oscilloscope, which you have probably seen a movie made by Oscilloscope. I think I feel like I've seen quite a few recently.
Exit through the gift shop?
Exit Through the Gift Shop is Oscilloscope. We need to talk about Kevin, which was a big indie sort of hit, or a critical darling from last year. Was that A Film Unfinished, William S. Burroughs' A Man Unfinished, Wuthering Heights. What's that? Dear Zachary was one of theirs. Like, they've been making really, I think, interesting indie films for the last few years, and it's kind of a shame that he's not there anymore. So pour one out for the Beastie Boys in Beastie Boy fashion, I assume. I really don't know anything about hip hop. You pour one out. I don't know what you pour out, but you pour something.
Don't
It's
leave
a
me on
phony
white.
on the flow.
No
all
sleep
right,
till Brooklyn.
I have some good news. Here we go.
With that
Here's
brass
some-
monkey.
Here's some good news. Universal is suing Global Asylum, which you've probably not heard of this company, but I have because I used to work at Blockbuster. But they're these guys who put out a movie. Every time there's a big movie, they'll put out like a really crappy
I know what you're
homemade
talking
version.
about. I know,
You know, they're the
yeah.
guys who put out like Transmorphers.
Yeah,
when
I know.
Transformers comes
That
out.
was the example
Yeah.
I was going to use. Yeah,
Exactly. Because that's the most obvious one.
Well,
where
there
you're
was
just like,
snakes
how can
on
you
a
get
train,
away?
too,
Yeah,
or
they
something
did
like
snakes
that.
on a train. They did a Cowboys versus Aliens one.
Oh
that
yeah.
I can't remember.
Well, they was it Paranormal Entity is the one I remember because even
yes.
the box art was exactly the same.
Yeah. Well, this year they were putting out American Battleship, which is the cover is the same, the art is all the same. I think the reason that this time they were able to say, like, we can sue you for this one, the other ones, they would take the general idea and make a shitty version of it. But if you look at the box art for this, it is a space alien ship rising up out of the water behind a battleship, which, if it were just aliens, like if it were a flying saucer fighting a battleship, they'd probably be safe. But the fact that this flying saucer, the fact that the alien ship is coming out of the water, I think that's their leverage here is like, you didn't even try this time, guys. Like, you stole our art.
Paranormal Entity looked just like Paranormal Activities.
It does, yeah.
Thing too. I mean, I had to do a double take when I was trying to figure out which one I was getting. I was like, oh yeah, this
They
is
did
the
that with
one.
kids movies too. When the
Oh,
Disney comes
there's a
out,
lot
it's
of
like
them, yeah.
Aladdin, and then you'll see another Aladdin. It's,
My mom fell for it.
did she?
Yeah.
Oh, man, no way. That's the thing. And I don't even know how they stick around now because nobody's going into Blockbusters and, like, being senile and seeing Transmorphers and picking it up and getting it on accident, like, or buying the movie at Best Buy. I don't understand how these people make money in the first place.
Well, obviously they do because there's tons of those movies. So
Oh yeah, I mean maybe
Grocery store DVD bins.
yeah, maybe like that, or maybe because a lot of them are on Netflix, so maybe that way they still get seen. Because then
Redbox
if
and
people who
stuff like that,
browse Netflix, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one in a Redbox.
Oh really? I
mean, I don't
know
look
sure,
for
but
them
I mean,
because-
I haven't been to a Redbox in a while, so I just,
Yeah, I would be really surprised if they were renting them at Redboxes. Two last little things. Brad Bird's next movie, or at least what he's talking about being his next movie, is going to be 1952, which is from a Damon Lindelof script that we don't know anything about. But Disney is spending a lot of money and getting some big names on it and talking about like video games and comic books and doing a whole multimedia thing on it, which I think is really exciting. Anytime that
John Carter too.
dude, don't say that. I do, man. Not with these guys attached to it. If it were lesser
I like
names,
John
but
Carter.
it's-
I'm just saying that
I do too. I do
Disney
too.
putting a whole bunch of money behind a sci-fi movie is,
But Damon-
sounds eerily familiar.
Yeah, but Damon Lindelof is at that point now where like he's about to be like almost a home name. Like people are gonna know who he is. I think.
But I guess Disney
Um,
does trust Lindelof because he
Yeah.
lost and everything.
Oh yeah. Well, and he's got Prometheus coming out this year. Plus, he's on doing Star Trek, and Brad Bird just made a big hit. So I have a lot of faith, and I think it's exciting.
Should be, yeah.
But the coolest news of the week, the very coolest news of the week. Have you guys heard of Phoenix Jones?
Yeah.
He's the guy up in Seattle that dresses up like a superhero, and like he did it one week, and by now there are just dozens and dozens of people who will dress up like superheroes, homemade superheroes, and go out on the streets of Seattle and do like vigilante justice. Like Seattle has gone crazy with this stuff.
Last time
real?
I am for real. Here, have you not seen it? Here, let me show you a picture of Phoenix Jones.
Last time I checked, he
This is
got
a
hauled
real
in
guy.
and was ordered
No
to
shit.
stop.
Yeah.
Somebody's doing it.
Somebody is really doing that. He has been for years. There was a
He's
documentary.
kick-ass.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, except he hasn't like been broken yet.
He's been shot. I know that.
Yeah, he has been shot. There was a documentary last year. I can't remember the title of it, though, and they followed a few of these guys around, and it was pretty cool. And about 6 months ago, there was actually some news about it because he sort of broke up a fight in the middle of the street, and like some crazy shit happened. A guy got hit by a car, and it wasn't his fault, but he was there, and so he got some bad press for it. But I'm so excited, Joe. I'm about to blow your mind.
Mine's already blown.
But here's the thing. This week, he got a supervillain.
Shut up.
Yeah, there was a guy who released a video online. His name is Rex Velvet.
That sounds like a
He has
name.
he has a poster that says Seattle deserves a proper villain. He wears a mustache and uses a cane and like a katana. And you should watch this trailer. Go out there and just go to YouTube and look for Rex Velvet.
Can we do it right after this show?
Yeah, absolutely we can.
I can't wait.
It's really pretty cool. Like it's obviously very kitsch. Like he's not. All he's really asking is for Phoenix Jones to unmask himself. But you know, he's not like vowing to kill people
I
or
thought
anything.
Phoenix Jones already unmasked himself, and the judge ordered him to stop fighting crime.
I think so too. But just I don't care. I'm pretty sure that everyone knows his name.
So cool.
Because here's the thing. If I remember correctly, we also know where Phoenix Jones changes into his clothes. Because he owns like a comic book store or frequents one where they gave him a room in the back where he keeps all his shit. So we know a lot about Phoenix Jones. If you were a supervillain and you wanted to get rid of him,
So you're saying
you
Rex
could do
Velvet
it.
is a terrible supervillain?
Yeah, he really is. He's got a plan that is unnecessary and easy.
But he's gone viral, which is really what's important. Does he have a Facebook page? Because I'm gonna go like.
I don't know
Rex
yet. I don't know
Velvet.
yet. But what's great was it was posted on iFanboy. That's where I first saw this. And the guy in there said that he hadn't even picked up his comic books on Wednesday for that week out of his slot yet because just living in Seattle was enough for him that day. Like it's too awesome. I was really excited about this, and we had to talk about it.
This is very exciting. I love it.
Yeah. So look up Rex Velvet. Brad, do you have any news?
Just a couple things. Someone is trying to make a documentary about Drew Struzan, the famous movie poster artist from
Love Drew Struzan.
many of the great 80s flicks, even today, some of the Harry Potter posters. But they've run out of money and they're in the audio post stage, and they need $8,000. So I got this off of Slash Film, and if you go to Slash Film and find the article about the Drew Struzan documentary, link to it. I think they have a link for where you can, if you want to donate, help them out, finish making that movie. I'm wondering why, because they have interviews with like Spielberg and Lucas on there. Like, why didn't they just ask Spielberg or Lucas for
I really,
$8,000?
I totally agree. I had that
it's
same
a little
thought.
rude, but at the same time, it's like they love Drew Struzan, so I can't imagine them turning it down.
And this is a movie. Like, I've heard about this documentary for at least a year now, and I was really excited about it because I love Drew Struzan. If you own a copy of The Mist on DVD, there's a whole documentary about Drew Struzan on there because that movie is partially, or at least the character in that movie is inspired by Drew Struzan. So check that out and then go give these people money. That is really cool.
And then the other thing I had was the final Dark Knight Rises trailer was released this week.
Yeah.
Thoughts, anyone? Or should we just kind of...
I was really scared. When I saw the first trailer, my first real thought was like,
Why is Hines Ward in this trailer more than Batman?
Who was that?
The football player running for the touchdown.
Yeah. I was really scared because there's so much in that trailer. Especially, I think the moment when he's making out with Talia al Ghul, and I'm like, wait, you're gonna have a whole relationship with Talia al Ghul in this movie? It seems like there's too much to actually be in a 3-hour movie, and that scares me. But then when we saw it on the big screen last night, I don't care. It's so awesome.
The trailer was on your Avengers.
You didn't get the
I
Dark
didn't
Knight
get to
trailer?
see it.
Oh, you didn't- wow.
Oh, man.
Bummer.
That's happened to me and Brad a couple times.
Yeah.
Well, the first Dark Knight Rises trailer we got.
Yeah, it was supposed to be on Harry Potter last year.
Yeah.
We didn't get it. But yeah, we got it last night, and it's really good. It's online now and has been for
a lot of
a
stuff
week
I
or
gotta
so.
go watch now.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Brad have different opinions about where the story's going. I guess that's what's cool about the trailer is it can be interpreted different ways. My version is Bane actually breaks Batman's back at the beginning, and that's why Batman kind of goes away. And then these people take up the mantle of Batman, and then when Batman comes back, he just destroys Bane and with Catwoman's help and stuff. And
I got to throw out kudos to Mick and RJ, who I was talking to them today about it, and Mick said, I think it was, or maybe it was RJ, one of them, they're twins, so I can't tell the difference, but one of them said that he thinks that Batman's going to have his back broken, and there's that shot where he falls down like what looks like a big well, and he's got like a rope connected to him. He's probably going to break his back there and have to crawl out without his legs, because you see a shot of him like crawling up a wall just by his hands. So he probably gets his back broken there, and then it's obviously a callback to the what happens when we fall, we have to get ourselves back up thing from Batman Begins, which is so awesome. It's those things where I'm like, okay, I don't care. This movie's going to be great.
And then, Brad, what is your take on it? Yours is pretty cool, too.
Well, mine's much longer than that. I thought you agreed with most of the other stuff, like just that little thing. I actually kind of agree with you. I think it's probably going to have to be at the beginning, something like that. I forgot to tell you about the Miranda Tate, being part of the League of Shadows funding, using Wayne money to fund Bane's operation. That's why he has all the tumblers and stuff. But it's too long. I don't want to go into it.
Okay, yeah. Well,
I'm going to write up a thing later in the week. On
cool. Because Brad has a pretty cool take on it.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously someone who has Batman lore running through his veins. Mine is just...
It involves No Man's Land storyline and the Nightfall storyline combined. Yeah. So...
Cool.
Anyway, that's all I got for news.
Awesome. So,
Does
again...
Joe have news?
Do you have news?
Joe, do you have any news?
No.
Why didn't you bring any news to the podcast, Joe?
What the fuck was I going to bring to this podcast?
Oh,
Nothing.
man.
You guys
Your
have all
beautiful
the news.
smile.
I was just going to listen and comment on what you guys talked about.
Actually, we already figured out he's bringing the ladies.
He
That's
is.
why I'm bringing out Lady. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's spoken for, so I guess it's...
So this week in the Comic Corner, James, you have a comic people should read, and it ties into directly what we saw this week. And so what should people be reading?
They should be reading Astonishing X-Men.
If you have not.
Joss Whedon's run on Astonishing X-Men is...
Astonishing.
I was trying really hard not to say that.
I know.
But it is.
I went ahead and did that, though, because it was...
It's special.
It
Basically,
is. It's awesome.
The sort of story that it follows is that Colossus is predestined to destroy the Break World, and so the people of the Break World are, planning an attack on the Earth. And then it follows Kitty Pryde for the most part. It's really the story where Joss Whedon turned Kitty Pryde into one of the most fan-loved characters in X-Men. And it's because he is so good at writing women and writing strong women that we enjoy following.
And I think why he's so successful, too, is because he doesn't treat women like they're secondary.
Right.
Even in the movie we'll talk about what we saw this week, and with his Buffy stuff, I was telling Laura, it's important for Joss Whedon to know that a woman doesn't need a man to save her. It's the woman who saves the man most of the time. And it turns out on saying you don't see it very often. I think that's why he's so successful.
Yeah. And it's a classic X-Men story at this point. Like, it's one of the big X-Men arcs because it is so good. And I mean, you have to, if you like X-Men, you're going to like this book, and you have to go into it with a certain sort of comic booky mindset, because there are some things in it that if I told you, like, oh, well, this thing turns into a robot and comes alive and tries to kill them all, that would sound really weird.
I tried to explain the Infinity Gauntlet to my wife tonight.
Come on. Exactly. And you're just like, I don't,
This sounds ridiculous.
You just got to read it, because it's a book that is more about the characters and the quips than it is necessarily about the overarching story, except for the ending, which I won't spoil here.
No, the ending's
but
amazing.
It is awesome. It is all building up to one thing, and it is so good.
Brad really doesn't like it.
Really?
What?
Astonishing X-Men.
Astonishing X-Men.
The comic?
Yeah.
Haters gotta hate,
Well,
man.
I started at 1 through whatever 10.
Oh.
He left halfway through, right?
No. 1 through 20 is all him.
Oh, this is 20.
I believe. Yeah, it's 4 trades.
You're talking about the whole run.
I'm talking about all of
Oh.
Joss Whedon's Astonishing X-Men is 4 trades.
Yeah, it was interesting, up through 5, but then around 10, I just kind of lost interest.
Yeah, I think
Sorry.
the second trade is the weakest, which is why if you go out and buy the hardcover, it's got it all in there. Just burn through the whole thing. Don't take
Yeah.
I
I don't find Emma Frost to be that interesting of a character, so when it starts focusing
do.
more on her, I'm just like, bleh.
I think she's pretty interesting there, especially because her relationship with Cyclops is pretty interesting in that run. But it's also got some really great Wolverine moments, like the "Can I help? Are you a beer? No, then no."
yeah.
Yeah. So go read Astonishing X-Men. You
Yes.
can probably pick up that
I think
hardcover.
I think
at-
on Amazon it's $13.99.
No. God damn it, Ryan! You can probably pick up that hardcover at Coins, Cards, and Comics,
You could.
which is going to have a whole lot of free comic books tomorrow, because tomorrow is Free Comic Book Day, May 5th, the first Saturday of May. So you've already missed it by the time you hear this, which is unfortunate. But next year, go to Free Comic Book Day, or just support your local comic shop in general, because
yeah,
they're awesome.
because I mean, even all kidding aside, the comics they're putting out now are pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Spider-Man.
Find the right stuff. Think, whatever movies you like, there are comics that match them, and you can find them, and you will love them. So read more comics.
Cool. So I hear, besides Brad, what we've been watching this week has been pretty light. The only thing I watched besides the Avengers this week is Smodimations.
Oh, yeah.
Which is Kevin Smith's Smodcasts
I put those on my queue. I
that
wanted
were
to check 'em out.
animated. And they're funny. My biggest problem with Kevin Smith on his podcast lately is he's stoned so much that he just laughs all the time, and it gets really irritating.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really funny seeing the Aquatic Justice one.
Yeah.
Animated, and there's a really funny one where Scott Mosier was talking about how he did coke for the first time, and it was really funny.
Now, did you buy the first season, or were you watching the second season online?
I know I streamed it on Netflix.
Oh, really? They're on Netflix?
Yeah, the first season's
very
on
cool.
Netflix. And
Oh.
again, so I mean, it's funny, but it gets really distracting, even in Aquatic Justice, which is really funny because they're making fun of Aquaman. But then Kevin just starts laughing, and it's uncontrollable, and it's like he's stoned all the time, and it's really annoying.
I was recently trying to show the Harry Scotter episodes, the Forgeticus episodes,
Yeah.
to a couple of friends, and couldn't find them online anymore because since they did a DVD, they stripped them off the internet. And you
Really?
can't find them anywhere. So it's good to know they're on Netflix, because they're not. For as much as they're asking for them, I don't think they're quite worth that.
No, I don't think so either.
Especially because it's a podcast.
I've got them. We'll try to send them to you.
Oh, you've got the.
They're buried in my iTunes.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, that's what I watch. I mean, they're fun, and the animation's kind of funny at the beginning when they're talking about it, and Kevin says, "Yeah, I could be anything right now. I could be a fucking walrus," and he snaps, and he's a walrus. And then Scott Mosier's like, "I just don't want to be a dickhead," and he turns into a big dick. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. Those are really good. The only thing that I really watched this week that I want to touch on is The Borgias is getting really good, and when I talked about it when it premiered, that I was
family. That was my.
I've seen that scene. It's really good, man. I talked about it when it premiered because it felt like it started a little slow. They were setting up a lot of stuff, and all of that stuff is happening now. People are killing each other, and that show is slowly becoming Assassin's Creed. This week, like the assassin dude, like he got a group of assassins together, and now they're out in the wilderness assassinating dudes just cause.
I love assassination.
Well, I mean, actually, they're assassinating them because they're French, but that's
a
enough.
good reason to assassinate somebody.
Yeah. Oh, it's really good. So you should check it out. Joe, what'd you watch? Did you watch anything this week?
Mostly, I just got the dish, so I've been watching the Rockies. I mean, that's seriously been about it. Is just watching the Rockies play some baseball. And I don't have to go to the bar to do that now, so that's pretty great.
Yeah.
Well, at least Dish isn't dropping the Rockies. I'm
Yes.
sorry. I had to rub salt in
Yeah.
that
That
wound,
really
did
sucks,
I?
man. I'm so bummed about that. No, really,
We're just
there's
starting
not
to
been
smile
much else.
again.
I wanted to watch Mad Men, but I need to watch that the first episode of the season, just get myself started on it again, because
Oh.
I don't know. I've got nothing that's driving me to watch it right yet.
Oh, this week's episode was really good. This week's episode was maybe my favorite episode of the past couple of seasons. Brad, what did you watch? Did you watch Mad Men?
I did watch Mad Men,
Oh man,
and it's pretty good.
Especially
Like that final shot of
Yes.
everyone sitting at the table.
sort of that disillusionment
Yeah.
at the table, especially for Sally.
And then Sally's
what
last
happens?
line of the show, too.
Yeah.
The city's dirty.
Yeah. I hate that kid. Matt Weiner's son. I'm sorry, but it's Matt Weiner's son who plays what's his face? The dude that Sally's calling.
friend,
Yeah, who's he's a perv. Do you remember? You've seen the early season.
I know,
Yeah.
I know the guy.
Yeah,
you're
the
talking
kid
about.
who
he
like.
always just he's a creepo. He's
Yeah.
got a creepo look to him every time he's in the room.
Well, he asked Betty if he could have some of her hair.
Yeah.
And oh man, that kid is messed up. I think am I mistaken, or was there a shot where he was naked and only wearing a jacket while he was on the phone? Yeah.
Yeah,
He was,
maybe.
wearing something
He might have
weird.
been wearing his boxers.
Maybe. but I couldn't see
I
him.
think he was
It looked like he was
fooling around with
almost naked.
friends or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you want to fuck me?
He was in
I'd
an
fuck
all-boys
me.
school.
So yeah, caught that, and then I watched 2 full things, and then a lot of little things, little
Yeah?
pieces of things. First, I finally got to watch Battle Royale since the Hunger Games,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
and it's so badass.
Yeah?
Compared to the Hunger Games, I was surprised. I forgot about there's some corny translation of things. They're almost as melodramatic as the Hunger Games.
In
So I
the-
was like, I guess I can't fault it, Hunger Games, too much for being goofy.
In the dubbing or in the subtitles?
Subtitles.
Oh, okay,
So
wow.
it could be, I'm sure they have to write it a certain way to fit it to time.
Yeah.
So it goes in my brain kind of weird when it's probably perfectly normal to a Japanese person.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But there's a lot of just like relationship stuff. But it's amazing how, in the Hunger Games, they have to kill off all the characters right away in order for
Right.
them to focus on the select important ones.
Yeah.
Battle Royale takes care of almost all 40 kids. Like, it gives almost all of them their own little story. It's amazing. And
Huh.
it all works together. It's fantastic.
So this is the Japanese Hunger Games?
Well,
Like-
it's it
Pretty
is a
much.
movie about kids killing each other. It is nowhere related to the Hunger Games except in theory.
It's
Yeah.
Quentin
It is-
Tarantino's favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
Or so the sticker on the box would have you believe.
What happens is in the future, the schools are so fed up with the disobedience of the students that once in a while they will isolate a class of students and ship them off to an island and tell them, this is your punishment for screwing around. Sorry about the rest of you who aren't involved, but we need fodder, so here's a gun. Or they have like duffel bags, and they're just randomly like either filled with something awesome like a machine gun or like a pipe, or just rations. And so right away a couple kids just off themselves, like jump off a cliff because they don't want to kill anybody. And yeah,
I believe I can fly.
and it's rated R, so you actually see brutal violence inflicted upon. There's no shaky cam. Just
Which is all I wanted out of Hunger Games.
I mean, like I actually did watch I actually went and saw the Hunger Games. I haven't listened to your guys' podcast about it yet because I wanted to see the movie.
it's okay. It's not many other people have either.
Our Hunger Games one? I know. Well, it's not our Hunger Games is slightly more popular than our 5-year engagement
Oh,
podcast.
yeah. One of those is me.
Me too. I think
Proofing
I'm the
it.
second one.
I thought it was a cool movie. I never read the books or anything like that. I thought it
I
was
like
a
the
cool
movie too.
flick.
I was the only one who liked the movie here.
I walked out of the movie and I'm like, it really pisses me off that kids can kill each other and it's a PG-13 movie, but if they say
Yeah.
fuck or fuck,
yeah.
then it's a problem.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? Then it's a rated R movie.
Kids murdering each other, that's fine.
Yeah,
We
it's
don't
really
get upset
interesting.
about that in real life.
But that's my only gripe about it. Other than that, I thought it was a pretty cool movie, actually.
Me too.
So that was
Glad you're here, Joe. You agree with me.
That's the one big thing. And then I did watch all of Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
What? I have it on Blu-ray.
I fell asleep.
Whoa, what?
I do.
I fell asleep watching it in the theater, and I haven't watched it since. But since FX had it on, I punished myself watching it again.
Galactus is a cloud.
Yeah,
I still think I don't think the Silver Surfer's that bad in it, and
No.
I think Chris Evans as Johnny Storm's pretty good.
yeah, but
But
it's so corny.
Jessica Alba as a white woman as the
I
Invisible
agree.
Woman, what? Like she just looks weird the whole movie because they've got her like in white face makeup and this horrible blonde wig. And I mean that is not the only thing
Yeah.
that I hate about the movie.
You know, when we get to the spoiler section of the Avengers, and I talk about the spoilerific
The-
part,
yeah,
I'll
the
tell you
post-credit
why
sequence.
the Silver Surfer, if he was in his own movie, would be a badass movie.
And here's the thing. I just want to say this now. This is why the Marvel movies are so much better than the like Sony Marvel movies and such, because in a Marvel movie you can have that character and have them look like that character.
Yep.
In a Sony movie, they have to be a
It's
cloud
Fox, by the
instead
way.
of is it Fox? Okay.
Yeah.
They
Sony
have to be a
Spidey.
cloud instead of a giant planet-eating robot monster thingy.
Who's awesome.
Yeah. That version of Galactus
When I
is
saw
stupid.
Comic-Con episode 4, I really wanted that Galactus figure. 'Cause
The
that was
Pretty cool.
badass.
Their Doctor Doom is cool looking. I
Yeah,
would say
too
that.
bad the actor is not good as Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he's a good actor in whatever show he is. But
No, he is a
even
good
Stan
actor.
Lee said like he didn't like the portrayal of Doctor Doom in those movies.
Well, yeah,
He's
because
not very menacing.
No, because like the scary thing about Doctor Doom is he's as smart as Reed Richards.
Yeah.
He has diplomatic immunity, and he doesn't give a fuck about anybody. So, and his whole downfall is his hatred to the Fantastic Four, which they really don't explore in the movies, and that's a really bummer because he's actually one of my favorite villains. I think he's a really cool villain.
Did you notice how both those movies end with like a battle on a street somewhere with
Yeah.
a crowd surrounding them?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I don't really remember it.
One's
Maybe I'll watch the
Beijing,
Blu-ray.
one's New York.
I only remember the beginning where like it starts with a wedding and then there's the Silver Surfer comes in and that's it.
Yeah, and then there's like, I'm fine with product placement if like you have a Coke in a scene and the labels turn, like that's fine. But there's a whole scene directing attention to the fact that the whatever car they fly is a Dodge, and like Johnny Storm's got to say, "Has it got a Hemi in it?"
Which is so dated now
Oh, God.
because no one is doing commercials about how cool Hemis are anymore. So it's not that joke doesn't even
Hey
make
guys,
sense.
remember
now.
my commercial I just did now? That was from Kung Pao Winner the Fist.
I totally did. Product placement for Taco Bell.
So right after Fantastic Four, they were showing Ghost Rider, which I watched about 10 minutes of, and I was like, "This is still better than the sequel."
Worst weekend. Whoa, really?
I haven't seen the first one since the theater, so I don't know.
Man,
I don't
yeah.
remember.
We used to rip on it all the time, but
I'm
after
not-
watching
I'm
the
not-
second one, I'm just like,
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with
guess
you.
it
It's
could
just
be
been-
worse.
It's been so long since I saw that first one.
yeah, the first one's feels more like someone's treating the material like they're
With
trying.
respect.
Yeah, they're trying.
The way they're trying to.
The one from this year is just like, here, let's just try a bunch of random shit and see if it works.
And let's
He
have
gets
Nicolas
it a
Cage
cream.
act crazy.
You guys
Yeah.
do this all the time. I've noticed on the podcast. You guys like make yourselves watch shitty shit.
Yeah,
do. Yeah.
You guys like make yourselves do
We
it.
do.
Just to,
Oh,
like,
man.
Just to
it was on
complain about
FX, and I was lazy. I didn't put it in.
Yeah, but you
I've-
made the decision to stick with it, man.
I
I'd be
know. I
like,
guess I could have
"Fuck
changed
this."
channels.
Man, this
Um,
week's Game of Thrones was really bad, guys.
Yeah, you and Game of Thrones, and then somewhere around that time, I switched over to the A-Team movie, which is ridiculous, but also kind of enjoyable at the same
Oh,
time.
no.
So,
Dude, the
I think
18
it's
movie
cool.
is great.
yeah.
Speaking of Game of Thrones, real quick, I just happened to be flipping through the channels. and
Yeah.
I watched a spank scene.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah, where the
what-
little boys
and I
having the
s-
hookers spank each other, right?
I watched it uncomfortably for half the scene, and then I was like, all right, I'm about done with this. I get it now, James. I'm just about done with this now, and I had no desire to ever turn it back on.
And
I've never
here's the
touched it
thing.
again.
That is one of the scenes, because I have some friends who've read through the books.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the scenes that they made up. It's not in the books. They make it up because they want to have nudity and because they want to make that villain even worse.
See,
which
that's
just
so
makes
stupid.
why HBO does this to stuff.
Yeah, it's stupid because aren't the books like 1,000 pages long?
Yeah.
So them adding
And there
just
are-
fluff to it is ridiculous.
There are cool storylines going on that they don't spend enough time with that then destroys that storyline. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm sorry. We
Sorry.
totally
No,
we
go ahead.
hijacked
My
your
fault.
section.
all
No,
right.
it's good. Oh man, dude, that
These
spanking
are supposed to
scene.
inspire discussion. So, I also actually watched all of Jackass the movie.
Had you never
First
seen it
one?
before?
No, I've seen it before.
Oh, okay,
It's just- I'll put that in. Like, I don't even have to wait for it to be on TV. I'll put that in. So
the
much
first
fun.
one's okay. The second one's really good.
Yeah, the second
Yeah.
and third ones I think are even better than the first one. But the first one was on, so I just watched it. It was just,
Well,
it was,
I think
it was
always-
fun to
when
see
it's-
how like tame that movie is compared to all the other.
Because the first one's like an experiment, as I remember.
Yeah,
it
well,
felt more like this.
I think it's drawing like from the show, like be as close as the show it can be
Yeah,
to keep the fan interest
they,
going. And then with 2 and 3, they're just like, we're gonna do whatever we want.
and it seemed like they had more money with the sequels because once
Oh,
they
yeah.
knew people were coming out, then they could do silly shit like we're gonna build a giant rocket and shoot it into a lake. Like why? Because you know. So yeah, I totally agree.
I mean, whenever
Those
the
sequels
repeats
great.
are on MTV2, I always watch them. I don't know how many
You'll,
times
Yeah.
because you'll laugh out loud every
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, there'll be
I mean,
something that'll catch you.
I don't know how many
Ten
times I saw
years
the
old.
Johnny Knoxville where he's wearing a cup and the kids kick him in the balls and they drop, pool table balls on him. It's
My
croquet. It's great.
My problem is I would have to turn on MTV2 to ever find that out.
Well, when you do the guide, you can see it. It's
Oh,
not like
yeah.
I
There you
turn
go.
to MTV2 hoping it's on.
Yeah, I really
Come
hope
on,
there's some
Jackass.
hip hop music videos. Oh man, Jackass, cool. Yeah,
Hip hop music videos. All right, James.
we already went through this. I know nothing about hip hop music.
And then you see Ryan Dunn stuffing a toy car up his ass, and you're like, oh,
Oh gosh.
miss
I know,
Ryan
it was
Dunn.
romantic. Oh.
Oh, I thought you meant.
What?
I get it. I was gonna play on the romance of the whole thing. But now it's just sad. Now it's just sad.
And then the last one is I'm surprised I even watched as much of it as I did. I hadn't seen it also since the theater, which was 2003. Was The Matrix Reloaded?
Whoa.
So thanks AMC. And
Did you watch that scene where like he reaches into her chest?
yeah,
and
I actually
reboots
watched.
her
I
heart?
caught the end of it, and then this morning I caught the middle of it. so I'm
So
watching
you
it
watched
backwards.
it 2 days in a
The
row.
third
the thing
one
is-
just is so horrible, though.
Oh,
and I know
Burly
that,
Brawl, man.
and yet after watching this, I still want to watch Revolutions again now.
I get that itch every couple of years where
Yeah.
something will happen and I'm like, I gotta watch those movies again because maybe
Is
they're
it still
good
as
now.
bad as I remember.
And
it?
then
yeah.
you get to a point where you watch the Burly Brawl, this thing that we've heard about for years when at the time it came out, that they were like, this is gonna be the coolest thing you've ever seen, and it's so anticlimactic and stupid. Like, ugh.
Where all the agents are fighting him.
No. At the end of Revolutions, the
Oh.
Burly Brawl is what they
Oh.
they sort of called that fight where it's just him and Smith alone
Oh, I
in the
thought
city.
that was all the agents.
No, I'm pretty yeah.
I know what
That's
you're
what I-
talking about. I was talking about the
Maybe
second
I'm
movie
wrong,
where
but-
like he's on that rooftop
Right.
and he's doing it with the staff and
Yeah.
and that, I thought that was a pretty badass kung fu scene there, you know. But I mean,
But the CG is so bad that it's
Sure.
just like
Yeah, I was
but-
gonna say watching this again, the CGI is just terrible,
and that's what's crazy. That
and
I
there's
mean,
a ton of it too. Like the agents
Yeah.
with the highway scene, like the one that jumps on the hood of the car and smashes the car into the ground. Like his arms swing around, they're like so misshapen,
Yeah.
and then when they have like Neo flying through the exploding
Gosh, I
building,
guess it's been since the
like,
movie
you can-
theater since I've
Yeah.
seen it though,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah,
gotta
it's-
check it out again.
it's
it's rough.
The thing that I have always said about those movies is that it feels a lot like George Lucas actually, where when watching the first Matrix, I thought that the Wachowski siblings knew the things that I thought I knew about, like, well, you know, if you shoot this stuff practically, it looks so much more realistic, and that is impressive, even if the idea of what the characters are doing is not as impressive as what it could be in CG. And then when what they were promising in interviews and stuff for the sequels was like, because, you know, people have been mimicking stuff in the Matrix so much that we have to do something they could never do. But they did it all in CG, so it looks fake, and anyone can do that crap in CG. You know, not anyone can design something like Bullet Time. Like, that was so cool and such an innovative thing to invent for a movie like that. It was sad to see those movies just
And the
go.
rotating camera
just
was the first time that
waxy.
was used too.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool.
it's a shame. It's really a shame.
So,
Very much so.
and then I just got back from Pirates, Band of Misfits.
Oh,
it
did you
good?
really?
Yeah, I used my free ticket on it. Sorry, Aardman Studios. You deserve money, but I had a free ticket, so
Does the
Um,
theater still give money for that? Maybe the theater eats your $10.
hopefully. I mean, I'd like to think that they get some kind of compensation for showing
Yeah.
it,
I don't know.
but I know I didn't do it.
But
Um,
was it good?
It was fun. It's definitely clever. I wasn't laughing a whole lot, but it was like a lot of the jokes in there are those background jokes. Like you read something on a wall that's clever or something
Yeah.
that's hidden in the background, and your mind just like thinks,
Mm.
"Oh, that's funny." But as far as the trailer is definitely misleading because the story that's in the movie is nothing like the trailer. The pirate has a dodo bird, the last remaining dodo bird
Yeah.
on Earth, and basically Charles Darwin is trying to steal it
What?
to give it to the Queen Victoria because she wants to put it in her zoo, her private zoo,
That
with
is
all these
nothing
other rare
like
animals.
The trailer.
Yeah,
What?
and then so Darwin like comes up with this scheme to like steal it from the pirate guy because the pirate wants to get the award for being the best pirate in the world, and so in order to do that he has to get an enormous amount of riches. So whoever has the largest amount of booty tabulated, they get the award. So he thinks that Charles Darwin convinces the pirate to enter the dodo in this science contest that'll give him a bunch of gold. And that doesn't end up happening, so then Darwin has to like just steal it on his own anyway. And then
So is Darwin the main character?
he's like the pirate guy is the
Or
main
the
character.
villain. Oh, okay.
He's like an anti-hero because
Yeah, okay.
he ends up teaming up and like helping him at the end and everything.
Oh, okay.
Queen Victoria is actually the villain because she actually just wants to eat the dodo because she has a circle of like a dinner circle like on her ship. Like all the other dignitaries from the other countries gather over once in a while and they just eat rare animals. So eventually, what happens? I forgot.
Well, don't spoil it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, she gets a hold of the dodo and they have to go rescue it. And
Dude, that sounds awesome. Why wasn't that in the trailer? Like,
I
I,
know,
want to
right?
go see that now.
it's way more. It's not just like a pirates,
Do you feel like part of why you weren't laughing was
Swashbuckling movie.
because it was more of a kids movie? Like, were a lot of the jokes just a little bit...
It's tame.
Underage?
It's tame. like the jokes aren't, no one's gonna be. There's no raunchy humor in it.
Yeah.
Except for
what was the purpose for Darwin in it, though? I mean,
he's just this like his thing was that he wanted to.
that just seemed like the most random thing that was thrown out of
I
the
know,
entire thing.
like-
I mean,
Well,
I was
there's,
like, Dodo
like-
bird, that's weird. Darwin? What the hell's Darwin
There's
doing?
like,
Yeah.
there's a couple like science and evolution jokes throughout it. Like he's got the monkey that he's trained to like read the flashcards, like to communicate with the flashcards, and that's really clever because there's one where when they're plotting against the pirate in Darwin's house, so everyone's asleep and they're in the hallway devising their plan. The monkey's got the card and like his text is really small. And then when he gets surprised, like the card has really large text. He's like, "No, quiet." Yeah, because he's shouting on the card. Yeah, stuff like that. But Darwin's motivation is he wants to secretly impress Queen Victoria because he's got a crush on her. So
What?
he's really lonely or something, and like you're really interested in girls. Like there's this
All
one
right,
part
I'll
where
watch
he's
it.
walking
All
the plank.
right,
He's like,
I'm
"I
in."
never got to kiss a girl." It's kind of goofy, but
All right, cool.
yeah, that
sounds-
trailer has none of that.
Yeah, I thought it was just
So-
going to be a movie where, like, some
Wacky
pirates.
pirate stuff.
We're
Yeah,
chasing
yeah,
treasure.
wacky-
Yarr.
It's just been called
Yeah.
Wacky Pirates.
So
Yeah.
that's it.
Cool.
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 Guess what we saw this week?
X-Men.
No, we saw The Avengers.
Yes.
Joe, you're the guest here. Should people go out and see The Avengers?
Stop this right now and go see the Avengers.
Whoa. No, all right. Wait,
Yeah,
wait.
no, they need to
Restart it
stop
right
it because
after, yeah.
we're going to spoil it
Oh,
for
that's
them.
that's right. Yeah. Dude, yeah. No, stop it right now. And then go
Brad,
see the
should people go
Avengers.
see The Avengers?
I
Haters gotta hate. Come on now.
hated the fact that someone was kicking my chair the whole time,
Oh,
and I hated the
Brad,
fact
you,
that
you genius. Oh man.
and I hated the fact that we saw it in 3D.
Mm.
But I think the last half of the movie was fucking badass.
Ah.
So definitely go see it.
James, should people go see The Avengers?
I love these characters, and so do the people who made this movie, and you should too.
You should go see The Avengers because it's fucking badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering how badass it is, here's the trailer.
War has started. And we are hopelessly outgunned.
Director Fury, I think it's time.
You here with a mission, sir? Trying to get me back in the world?
Trying to save it.
Doctor, I need you to come in.
What if I say no?
I'll persuade you.
What are you asking me to do? It's called the Avengers Initiative.
I thought I didn't qualify. Apparently I'm, what is it, volatile, self-obsessed, and don't play well with others.
I think they need a timeout.
How desperate are you? That you call on such lost creatures to defend you?
You have made me very desperate.
We're not a team. We're a time bomb.
This is nothing we were ever trained for.
Guys, I'm bringing the party to you.
So what's really cool about this movie is the ability to make a movie this big and to have every character have their moments is difficult. And even Joss Whedon said it's impossible to make this movie. But you know what? Fuck it, let's make this movie.
Well, what he said was these characters don't belong in the same universe. Like, and it's true. That's part of what's so amazing is that you watch these guys. Like every time that Thor is on the screen, I can't believe that I'm not confused.
Yeah,
or like off put.
Well, you know what's funny too is this sounds so like stupid of me, but you know, after they capture Loki and Iron Man and Captain America talking and lightning starting, like, what does lightning have to do with anything? Like, then I'm like, oh shit, it's Thor, and he lands on the jet and everything. And
oh yeah, I mean,
man.
That's the thing is that this is a movie where they can have a scene where Iron Man and Thor and Captain America all fight, and it has a plot and a character purpose. Like, because if they didn't fight, if they just sort of trusted each other to begin with, it would be disingenuous. Like we would not be able to follow this movie if all of a sudden it's like, well, you're good and I'm like the Justice League is you're a good person, I'm a good person, he's a good person, let's be good people.
Together, yeah.
Whereas the Avengers is not that at all. Like all these characters, as we know them in these movies, have their own motivations, and so we have to have that scene where they all fight. But it's also that moment where the little kid in all of us is like slamming our action figures together and saying like, well, what if Thor fought Iron Man? I was doing it during the movie, like when like they Thor and Iron Man fly at each other and Iron Man is the one pushing Thor, and I'm like, oh, that means that Iron Man is flying, maybe Iron Man is heavier, so momentum wise like I was having those thoughts in the movie. That is how like just pleasurable.
When the Incredible Hulk tried to pick up Thor's
hammer
and it's Hulk can't fucking lift it, and he's looking at his arm like, what the hell?
And you're like, you're right, you're not worthy to wield that hammer.
Yeah. And then Thor just walks over and just like swings it around. It's like, what? And then smacks him. Oh man, it's just, and that's it. That's just it. Like they give sort of an even hand to all of these characters, and you really feel like.
Actually, one of my favorite early moments was with Black Widow, where she's tied to the chair, and you think she's in trouble, and then she gets a call from Coulson. And she's like, dude, I just almost got this guy to spill his guts out, and now you're ruining my cover.
She was a much better character than she was in Iron Man 2.
Oh, yeah.
Way better. And
honestly,
again, I think that's to Joss Whedon. I mean, again, that's what goes back to what you were saying earlier about his female writing. I mean, absolutely, she was a really good character in this.
I don't know if he'll admit it, but I think that he purposely set out to make her a huge character in this movie. I think she gets more, as far as character development is concerned, I think she gets more time spent on her than Cap does or Thor does, period. I mean, from the scenes that we get sort of setting them up and setting up her relationship with Hawkeye, even to the fact that one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when she goes to get Incredible Hulk or to get Bruce Banner, and he scares her at the table. And I've never been as impressed with Scarlett Johansson as I was in just her face and the look on her face in that moment, because she is terrified. And that comes back later in the movie after one of the coolest shots of the movie where Hulk is chasing her, and she disappears from the movie for 10 minutes. And when we come back to her, she's still cowering. And you're like, this is, she's such a badass the rest of the movie that then we get to see, this character I didn't expect to give a shit about. I got to see her weak spot. I got to see what she's afraid of.
Though, as soon as it was back in the rear, it was like, all right, I'm on it. Let's go.
Right. Oh, man.
Yeah, and Tom Hiddleston, he's so great as Loki, and he's actually becoming one of my favorite actors. He is brilliant in his little bit in War Horse, too. And so, there's fanboy moments, and when he's making all the people in Italy bow to him, and the old guy saying something, and then you see Cap's shield hit him, and Cap's trying to take him out. Then also you start hearing AC/DC. You're like, oh fuck, here comes Iron Man! And it's so awesome.
Even Captain America's speech right there. It's like you stand up and you're sitting in your chair a little bit prouder and stuff like that. I mean, that was awesome.
Where he's like, when I last left the world, I saw a guy who made people bow to me. You're like, dude, I fucking love Captain America.
And that's like the first moment I believe that's the first moment that two of them are on screen together.
It is.
Because that gives you the first little lick of what later is the hero shot of all of them in the city, which of course we've seen in the trailers and everything, but doesn't matter. Both times I've seen this movie, because I saw it again today, both times I saw it, I had a moment. Like just seeing it and realizing that we were getting this this superhero team-up movie that had this much work put into it, all these movies put into it. It was a moment where I was just like, this is unbelievable.
Well, and it felt like he took it shot by shot, like a comic book would be, and then just was able to blend it together. I was talking to Ryan just before we started this, and how that scene where they're all together, or when it's going up the building and Hulk is smashing them into it and shit like that, just flying all over the place. And it pans up even further, and there's Hawkeye shooting at something. And that, you watch that arrow go off, and then there off comes back fucking Iron Man and shit. And it's just it's moving panel by panel, but it's blending together, and
it's
felt
choreographed
like
so well.
It's
so creatively. Like,
it was beautiful.
What was the budget for this movie?
Probably $200 million.
Well, they're saying 220, but they're not confirming that
because it seems like it felt like a lot.
Yeah.
Like that last action scene, like the
It's
CGI is good,
unbelievable.
and the choreography, the planning of the shots is so great. Like how each of their battles interconnects, like leads into another one. It's not just lazy where let's throw everyone all at one thing and
they're
some
not,
of them get knocked down. Like it's all just
and they have each have their
plotted
little
so well.
moment, like when Hulk breaks off the piece of the armor on that monster and jams it in, and then you see Thor start hammering him in. I'm like, dude.
It worked great. It was so cool.
And Joss isn't just being flashy and all that stuff. Like, all those action sequences are really great. Like, the one you're talking about with the long tracking shot is amazing. It's impressive. But then, like, the whole time he also knows that what he's doing visually with the storytelling, that one of the most impressive shots to me is the one where Hulk grabs Loki and smacks him back and forth, because it is the most simple shot it could be. He doesn't move the camera, he stays on it because he knows that we don't need the camera to move. The action itself is perfect the way it is.
Was so
it's
great,
just
too.
the most simple shot. It's like 3 frames on a panel, you know? Smack, 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 smack. And that's the shot.
Because you've seen it in cartoons. Like,
Yeah.
So it goes back to your childhood and like recognizes that image.
And what's amazing about it is he sets you up in a way where the Hulk's going to stop, with Loki. But no, the Hulk still just takes him out.
Yeah.
And even with Hawkeye, where he shoots that arrow at Loki and Loki catches it, and everyone in the theater, in our theater, was like, "Oh, and then the arrow blows up." You're like, "Yeah,
I totally was one of those people
fuck
who went,
you, Loki."
Really?
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Like, fuck
Because
you,
at
Loki.
that point in the movie, you're just like, oh, how is he still alive? How is Loki still alive?
What people don't know about Loki, though, is he is really strong.
Oh, yeah.
I think on the back of his trading card I have, I think his strength is 6, which is
6.
It's just one below 7, which is
like Galactus.
a Hulk. Like he's just one below Hulk because.
Well, I mean, Hulk smashes him pretty good, and he's still
dude,
alive.
How great was when Captain America's giving everybody orders like Hulk, smash.
That was great.
I really love Cap at the end of that movie. Like
Dude,
they do a great job of making it clear that he is not quite on the level of everybody else. Like as far as strength, is concerned, or I don't want to say ability, but he can't fly. He's stuck on the ground, and we always feel that. But all of his leadership stuff, the scene where he saves the people from the bank, is one of my favorite little scenes.
And
the
when he
fact
starts
that
giving the orders to the policeman, on the street,
policeman,
and he's like,
yeah.
who are you to give me the orders? He cuts some ass and kicks some ass real quick, and then the cop's like, everybody follow some shit right here. Go this way, do that, get to the subway, get out of here. It was amazing.
And it shows dedication from Joss that he wrote all of that stuff in on there on purpose.
And an understanding of the character.
Yeah, because if somebody like Kevin Feige wrote this movie, I mean, it would be good, but Iron Man would be the best part about it. But this feels like, and Iron Man would be the one that you felt like the writer loved the most.
Iron Man's so
Every
badass,
moment of this movie, everything that characters do in this movie, I felt like, that's exactly what they would do, and that's the best thing they
and I
could
feel
do.
like he took the essence of each one of the original movies and brought it. I mean, the AC/DC, for instance.
Yeah.
I mean, you felt Iron Man 2 right there.
Yeah.
You felt that scene. And then when Captain America's punching bagged, I mean, it's that soft light, and it's real tan, sepia kind of look to it.
Yeah.
And then and when Bruce Banner, he's in Beijing or wherever he's at, I mean, it's got that drippy look to it.
Out in the, exactly.
He's hiding. He's in or wherever he's at.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked like all of those movies. Like he did a really good job of bringing that all back, so that you're like, hey, remember who these guys were, and it felt.
And you know what also is awesome about that movie? Hey, this is a major spoiler, so make sure you totally stop listening if you haven't seen the movie. Is we totally got Joss Whedon, and if you don't know what that is he takes a character people love and fucking kills them.
And he is
Agent
better at it
Coulson.
than anyone. Like when it happened, I told Ryan this. When it happened, I was so mad at myself for not seeing it coming.
Yeah, me too.
Because I should have known. Because he does it every time. And it was funny. There was he did an interview on Reddit. Actually, it was an Ask Me Anything that he did, where somebody asked him like, "Why do you kill all the characters I love?" And he said, "Because you love stupid people." And it's this thing. It's this thing that I've always kind of loved about his approach to that. Is just like because it works. Like he knows how to kill people and when it's the right time to do it.
Because
and it was such a smart thing to do.
Because it's shocking because Coulson, I mean, he's such an intricate part to the Avengers.
Yeah.
I mean, the movies, he's just in little scenes every once in a while, and, he shows up and he just spouts wisdom. And even leading up to it, when you're reading interviews with Whedon, he's saying, oh, no, if I ever need, exposition explained, I just have Agent Coulson do it. Yeah. And I think he was setting you up because, I mean, when he gets, he's killed. And
he said something along the lines of, like, his favorite character in the movie is Agent Coulson.
Yeah.
Which is really...
It's total code.
We should have known. Again, like, of course, yeah. You're going to kill that character because that's what you do.
There's also little funny scenes that I really liked when Cap meets Nick Fury for the first time. He gives him money.
That was so funny.
I mean, that's racist, but really funny because he's from a totally different time.
I like that he took the money and put it in his pocket.
He's so far behind the time, and he's so out of place, and you kind of forget about it for a while, and I forget what is said. But then Cap says, "Oh, I got that one."
It was the flying monkey.
Yeah, it was a Wizard of Oz reference.
Yeah, I get that reference. Stuff like that is amazing.
And one of the other things that Joss is so good at that I think is another one of my favorite moments in this movie is that a lot of times he will take characters that you feel like and he will he'll crack them open and show you a different side of them or give you a different way to look at that character. And throughout the whole movie, they keep this little mystery going about, like, what is Hulk's secret? What's Bruce Banner's secret? Like, how is he doing so well? Especially if you're coming right out of Incredible Hulk. You're like, how did he get to this place where he can really control it so well? And the line he delivers about "I'm always angry" is so cool. Like, that idea that Bruce Banner, the guy that you think is the calm guy, is actually, it's still the Hulk. He is just really kind of in control, is so cool. And that line just totally pays off that thing that they've been playing the whole time.
My wife was like, well, how come he couldn't control it on the plane, but he could control it on the ground? I'm like, maybe he kept it in check for so long. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
because like at that point, he's standing with the Avengers and he's helping. I mean, he saves Iron Man at one point.
Well,
but he's still a bit of chaos. Like, that's why Loki likes that character, because he's like, you and I are the same. Like, he's just chaos. That's why, like, when he and Thor are fighting. I don't even remember what they take down one of the things together, and then at the end there's that awesome little moment where he just punches Thor out of shot.
That was wonderful.
Well, there is. I mean, you might not remember, but remember at the end of the Incredible Hulk, he learns how to control.
Oh, that's right.
The Hulk at the very end.
That is right. He's got that shot where he's like meditating and then his eyes go green.
Yeah, he learns how to control it. So
right. I forgot.
There's a little Easter egg for you.
I haven't watched that movie in a long time either.
Speaking of Easter eggs, after the first ending is an amazing reveal.
Yeah.
If you don't know,
did you stay for the credits?
Did you stay till the very end of the credits?
I didn't stay for the very end of the credits. I thought that the shot
Joe.
of Thanos was the.
No,
was
but
it.
there's one more great thing.
Shit.
But Thanos.
I knew it. My wife's like, "No, that was it. We got to go." I'm like, "All right, okay."
Yeah, no, there's two. There's
but
two.
Thanos makes
sequences.
an appearance, and if people listening to this podcast, you know who Thanos is. He's a Titan born on the moon of Saturn, and he is badass. And he has an obsession with death, and he falls in love with death, and so his whole purpose in life is to kill people to make her happy. And
and he's always after the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yep.
Which people were always suspecting that Thanos was going to be the villain in this movie, because there was a shot of the Infinity Gauntlet in Thor, like when they're walking through the vault in Thor, where the destroyer is. There was a shot of the Infinity Gauntlet in there, and they took it out. Which the only reason you would do that is if it had some kind of plot. Like you needed to have the canon tight for that element. But obviously, they had some other awesome, tight plot elements already in the working.
The other part to me, then. What
the last.
But since they cut it out, they people were always suspecting he was in that, and he kind of is the villain. Like,
yeah.
It's true.
He was the one that was behind this.
He's behind everything.
Well, yeah, because he's telling he's telling Loki what to do, sort like giving Loki the power, but Loki is sort of the villain of the movie.
So, I mean, obviously, I'm guessing at the end of Thor 2, probably Thanos is going to be unleashed because...
Probably.
Or Iron Man. Thanos' first appearance was in Iron Man something, 50-something.
One of the great things about the way they leave these characters, which they leave the characters in an amazing spot for making the next movies, but one of the great things is the relationship between Thor and Loki. There's so much potential there, because in their last moment when right before Loki stabs him, basically. Like there is this sort of tension there where you feel like Loki could be good again, where like Thor sort of believes in him and is like, I can turn you around. Obviously he doesn't. But they've already been talking that like the plot of Thor 2 is going to involve the two of them getting back together, which means Avengers 2, when they fight Thanos, Loki is going to be fighting with the Avengers. What?
Yep.
That's cool.
Well, I mean, Loki will protect Asgard for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done it. Well, Siege was a great comic series, but
Thanos already has promised basically he's going to try and kill Loki.
Yeah.
Since he just failed, so I mean, Loki has motivations to help them, but
and you know the last like tag scene was amazing because you always expect something amazing to happen, and yeah, it doesn't. It's them. What are they eating? What?
No, it's
something specific.
Shamus. What's he?
What he was talking about. At
Yeah,
the end of
So the last scene is like a minute of them just eating the shit in a total blown out
and
restaurant.
It just goes and goes.
Yeah,
he
and
just lets it
say
run.
anything. It's just quiet.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, it ends with like Thor finally taking a bite, and like Bruce has got a whole bunch of empties right next to her, like empty food boxes
so yeah,
next to him.
That's the last scene. Is really brilliant because they even set it up saying, "Oh, we went back and shot this amazing final credit scene." And
Were they all
it's a
still in
pickup.
costume, all messed up and everything?
Yeah, they've
That's
still got
great.
like it's a pickup. Like they had to get everybody back together, get their costumes on, and then sit and eat food for probably 5 minutes while they shot
we
it.
should mention that how great Mark Ruffalo is as Bruce Banner. In
Yeah,
this
he did a good job.
And
I'm not a fan of his. Like I didn't.
No.
Like
Yeah.
I was always like he's such a write-off actor, but
Yeah.
I
No.
thought he did a great job
Have
in
you
this
ever
movie.
have you ever seen The Brothers Bloom?
Mm-mm.
He's really good in that. You should check that movie out.
Have you ever seen 13 Going on 30?
Yes. Yeah, I watched that movie. I have watched that
He's
movie
really
deliberately.
not good in that one.
He what's interesting is that again, a friend of mine sort of said this, who's really into CG and all of that stuff, that he thinks that because they made the Hulk look more like Mark Ruffalo in this movie, the Hulk looks more realistic. Like even than he did in the Incredible Hulk, I think this Hulk looks really
actually,
good.
I think he feels like he has weight to him.
Yeah.
That's my biggest problem with like the early ones. He seemed really like fluffy. If that makes sense. Like he's really
Yeah.
light, bouncing everywhere. This one he felt like he had mass.
Well, but I think since
yeah.
he looks like Mark Ruffalo, I get some character out of his face that I don't get out of
Well,
the
even
other
the
Hulks.
details. I mean, he had like the hairy chest and things like that.
He's still got his stubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole movie's awesome, and you should go see it.
Brad, what did you hate about the first half?
I thought there were some like dopey lines, and there's not being a Marvel, not knowing a lot about the Marvel canon and stuff. You know, trying to keep up with everything, and it wasn't until like the airship and Black
The
Widow scene
helicarrier.
with Loki, the helicarrier, and then the Black Widow scene with Loki, where like I think at that point in the movie, it's like it took off. Like,
Yeah.
Iron Man comes in and he has all his funny
I
lines
love
and stuff.
Iron Man.
It
I love Robert Downey
really
Jr.
adds. Yeah, I thought his lines and stuff were even more clever than say even Iron Man 1 or 2.
I think
Like,
so too.
I love when he
But
was.
That's the
He
thing
had
about
the-
it's
he
Joss
had the
Whedon, dude.
Sawyer style like nicknames for
Yeah.
everybody. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is great.
Well, not just the nickname, but the fact that like that the Legolas one is like, you know, you better clench up, Legolas.
That was
Like,
great.
you know, because I'm going to make you shit your pants. Yeah.
Yeah. That's I had a bunch of notes here because I didn't want to like forget.
Yeah. No,
like
absolutely.
overnight and stuff, but like I felt like, you know, I rag on Joss Whedon a lot for not liking his writing. Like,
Yeah.
but I actually felt like better than their own movies themselves. Like he's handled in one movie, like developing those characters all at once. I was just blown away. Like Captain America seems so much cooler in this movie because he's at a disadvantage, even though he's a super soldier. Like he doesn't get references, and he doesn't like he's just not on the same level with everyone. And then Hawkeye and Black Widow are not super powered at all.
Right.
They're just talented, so they can't go toe to toe with anyone supernatural. So he does things. He puts them. He doesn't like force them into a battle. He gives them side projects like go direct civilians or and then Captain America can lead that and also beat up people at the same time and just utilizing all the characters so well.
I think they did a good job of making Hawkeye a badass. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, 'cause he had that like fleeting scene in Thor, but I mean, like I was like, I had no idea how good he'd be, and I was like, wow, he's really really good in this. Hawkeye's a badass.
What was cool is that you knew there was going to be that shot where he like shot an arrow at something and blew it up without even looking at it.
Uh-huh.
But what's even better than that, I think, is the shot right after that one where he's he pulls the arrow, he aims, he follows the thing he's shooting at, and then he looks away at whatever he's going to shoot next, and then releases. So it's like it gives you this insight into why he's so cool because he's looking at the next thing. You know,
they did a really good job with Hawkeye.
You mentioned the helicarrier. Did you think the helicarrier was cool?
I guess. I mean, it is a flying battleship. I don't.
But did you think it was stupid?
No, it made sense. Like it's. I know from the comics it's supposed to be a base that can't just go to one place all the time.
Yeah.
It's constantly moving, which is a smart idea for
right.
So enemies can't constantly track you.
Yeah,
but
it was one of the elements of the movie that I was going in. I was afraid of. I was like, if they have a whole bunch of helicarriers and it's just like a throwaway thing, it's going to seem really silly. But I think the way they treat it is kind of cool. I was amazed that they
it's
gave
a great
it like
set piece. Like,
there's
so much
totally
danger to it that.
Yeah, I think that because they try to crash it and all of that kind of makes it cool. If it had just been we're on a helicarrier and it takes off out of the ocean and that was it, I think it would have been kind of a lame throwaway scene. But
if it just flew around the whole movie and didn't do anything, it would have been like,
why? Yeah, why is it?
But the fact that they utilized it as part of the plot,
it would have felt like fanboy fodder more than actually
like,
how
hey, remember
cool
that from
it
the
is.
comics? We made it. There it is.
Yeah, you get to see this thing now.
You know what I love is Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
He's so fucking cool. Like he really is.
That boner, man. Would you just please put it away?
No, like when he comes in and he's planning all his little Stark Industries spy little buttons, and he's like, and that guy over there's playing Galaga, and he keeps on going and going and going, and then like 5 minutes later it goes on like he's really playing Galaga.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
dude.
And that scene and the other one just like it that's just after it, I maybe impressed me the most about this entire series of movies because in those scenes they interweave all of these movies and all of the plots so well that it feels so planned out. I remember when Iron Man 2 came out, I was really afraid because I thought Marvel was going crazy because like that movie was pretty good but there was a lot of stuff in it that I felt like was all just set up. And the same was true for Captain America, where I thought like they're meddling too much. Like Marvel's got this plan and it's too big and it's getting in the way of these movies. But all of these little elements that I didn't even realize were interconnected, and I didn't realize how they would connect together in those scenes where they're saying like, we did this because of you, and this happened because of what you did, and this is why this, and all of this stuff is all tying together, and it was insane. Like I couldn't believe that these people had planned this out so well.
To see it come together so well was what was amazing.
No one has ever done this in movies.
No,
this would be like if the Towering Inferno were actually a sequel to a whole bunch of little movies where all those big actors were some other character that we were supposed to care about, and then they made the Towering Inferno. But that's not what it is at all. Like it's crazy.
I know. I need to see this movie again.
Yeah,
yes, you do.
I want to see
Here's
it
the thing:
2D
you
so
need to
bad.
see it in 2D,
Yeah.
guys. Because Joe, did you see it in 2D or 3D?
No, we saw it in 3D.
Okay.
I felt the 3D of it was
Yeah.
actually done really well. Like it's still that push back thing, but
Yeah.
it's still
It's so
like not
dark.
cardboard cast, but yeah, it's dark. And if you're like too close to the screen, everything that's on the edge of the glasses is blurry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
because it
lucked out.
really
we
was.
We walked in 10 minutes before the movie started and got perfect seats, right in the middle. Like,
Oh, man.
it was. I know it was like really, really strange how well that worked out. But I thought I usually hate 3D movies, and
Yeah.
I didn't feel like this was jarring in any way.
No.
In some instances, it was actually pretty cool. The thing that I hate about 3D movies is when people run. Or when there's a lot of action or something
Yeah.
like that going on, I feel like too much is happening and I can't focus on what I'm supposed to be focusing on.
This was a couple of times in the movie I thought to myself, I really want to see. I wish this movie were in 48 frames because I would like to see. I'm really anticipating what The Hobbit does because I think that if the movie were brighter and, like you say, if there were more frames so that things were not just blurry, the 3D might be really cool. But And it was good most of the time, but it was so dark. And I mean, the first 20 minutes of this movie are at night. It just there were so many times where I felt like there was a really good performance there from somebody like Tom Hiddleston that I really love that guy and I want to see his performance, but I can't see it because it's too dark. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah, I don't think it was the film. I think it was actually like the bulb they were using in our theater.
Oh yeah,
it was
no.
terrible.
It was totally the theater.
all the theater projectors, they're all dimmed because they want to save
Right.
money on buying bulbs, and
it's just
stupid.
Yeah, it's a shitty
it's
way to see
turning
a
customers
movie.
away when you're
Yeah.
trying to.
Where did you guys see it at?
The Mills.
The Mills.
See, I went to the Belmar. I saw it on the digital 3D screen or whatever because it looked sharp as hell to me. I thought it was really, really good looking. The only thing is the blurriness of people running,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
So yours wasn't dark at all?
No, it felt fine. I mean,
Okay.
honestly, I in the 3D throughout the entire thing was fine. I mean, even when with that same scene we're talking about with Scarlett Johansson pulls the gun on Banner,
Yeah.
like
the 3D on that gun.
and the 3D on it, and it's still a really dark scene all around her,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But that it looked still really sharp, and it looked like that gun was coming out, and she was pushed way back.
And I feel like that was partially because it was shot sort of traditionally where the gun was what was in focus and everything else, and so we're looking at the
You're
gun
looking at
in
the
our
gun.
foreground, and everything that is actually the 3D stuff is all a little bit blurred in the background anyway. Because you're right. When that happened, I was like, "Hey, I don't hate this shot.
Yeah.
Usually, I would hate this poking me in the eye kind of shot." There was one later where Iron Man's shooting a laser at my face, and that one I didn't like so much. But in 2D, you can see all the detail, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
You should check it out at least once. And the
I'm
truth is,
sure, I'm going to buy it on Blu-ray for sure. and
Oh,
all,
yeah.
but,
Yeah.
But I want to go back out and see it again, and I don't want to spend $14 on a ticket.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So I'm sure it'll be in 2D.
I would almost say that I think one of the times you see it, if you see it more than once in theaters, I would probably say check out the 3D because it is kind of neat. But
Oh no, it is. Like it's one of the ones that isn't that distracting.
yeah,
Um,
and there are some cool shots. Like
Hammers
but-
flying at your face.
But
and shit.
the action throughout the movie, like I saw it in 2D now, I saw it in 3D as well, and the action at the end of the movie doesn't feel less interesting or less exciting than it did last night, other than the fact that it was new last night. Yeah.
I sometimes when I watch something in 3D and then go back and watch it in 2D, it feels more together to me. I don't
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I will definitely see it again in 2D. But kick-ass movie though, man.
Yeah.
I loved this movie.
It was funny. I felt like there were. I had a list of things that I didn't know that I really wanted out of an Avengers movie, and there were things like I really wanted to watch Nick Fury get off of a helicopter. That was the first moment. That was the first moment in the movie where I just sort of freaked out in my seat. Like Shauna was sitting next to me and she just poked me like, "Hey, don't stop freaking out." So I was like, "No, Nick Fury just got out of a helicopter and he did it just like he was in a panel of a comic book. It was really cool. That was a really comic booky shot." Oh.
Well, and then he would reach for his gun so quick and pull that out so fast, and like even when the plane's taking off, it's like his first instinct is to shoot at it with a pistol.
Yeah, how he even gives Nick Fury a few awesome moments in there because that thing with him shooting down the jet with a rocket launcher is awesome.
Well, when he's talking to Loki in the prison too, and he's got Loki in that, just the
ant boot.
Yeah, just I mean it's total
Callbacks.
Samuel L. Jackson like the way he delivers, but. I mean, that's why you hire him for that part, right?
Yeah. Well, and because they've been drawing Nick Fury as Samuel L. Jackson for years. Yeah. It was too cool. Man.
Totally. Guess what? You can like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can also email us directly, realnerds@gmail.com. You can read our awesome blogs, realnerds.tumblr.com. And you can also follow us on Twitter, real_nerds. We'll be at the Denver Comic Con as press at the Denver Comic Con.
Well, we think so.
Oh, we will be. we got the application. We just need to fill it out.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
So we'll be there.
I'm going to come by.
You should.
I'm going to.
You better.
I plan on it.
We'll be very, very.
Hey, Joe,
disappointed
thanks for
about
hanging
that.
out with us.
Hey,
It was really cool having you here.
Next week, we'll be seeing the Avengers. I mean, we'll have to watch Dark Shadows.
So, Joe, you're not coming for that one, are you?
I'm not going to come.
For the listeners, he was shaking
I love
his head.
movie magic.
Oh, man. Man, that trailer for Frankenweenie is almost good, except for all the visuals.
Yep. Man, Tim Burton would be fucking awesome if it wasn't for Tim Burton.
I agree.
Bye.
Bye.
I miss Beetlejuice.